Let me assert my firm belief that the only thing we have to fear is fear itself.
Oh god, there's something in the water!
There is an infinite amount of anything, infinite amount of numbers, infinite amount of space in the universe, and an infinite amount of things that could scare you as a child, or even now. What happens when we stand up the infinity symbol though? It makes it number 8. What episode of Stuff That Scared Me as a Child is this? 8. How many people are going to be narrating in this video? 8. 8, 8, 8. A lot of 8s. So because of this Halloween season coming up, I've decided to do a little something special for my little horror series that has been around since I started making actual videos back in January. Now, from the start, I thought I was only going to make like 2 episodes, but it turned into something bigger and better. I really enjoy making these videos, and it lets me go back and look at certain things from when I was younger and lets me talk about them. Anyways, for today's episode of Stuff That Scared Me as a Child, I'm going to have 7 other people also narrating about things that scared them. Some of these people have appeared before, but others, this is their first time appearing on the show. So, turn down the lights, get your favorite food, candy, and drink, and get comfortable. And without further ado, let's begin. Minecraft is an old game. It came out in the late 2000s and quickly grew to popularity, but with popularity comes interpretation, whether that be with fan games, headcanons, or ships. Minecraft is a huge open world game and at that time was fairly empty, so people obviously came up with something to fill that void. And what they filled it with was Herobrine. Herobrine is arguably one of, if not the most popular creepypasta of all time. And probably one of the reasons as a kid I hated playing Minecraft alone and always wanted my brother to play the game with me. Then a few years pass, I become less scared of Herobrine, so I decide to spawn him in my own worlds and try hunting him there. I was never successful, but I do remember always feeling like I was watched or being hunted or being followed. I remember having a whole map on my Xbox One that was dedicated to searching for him. I did also build a lot of other things in that world, and I remember it being based off of IES 17's world because I was really into this content at the time. Watch my IES 17 videos after this one. I will also bring another YouTuber into the mix, Dark Corners. Well, before he went all clickbaity and childish on us. Dark Corners in his early days made some actual real feeling Herobrine videos. These made me truly believe that Herobrine was in Minecraft, and I think I even made a Herobrine hunt series on this channel long before I privated all these videos and started posting again back in January. In that series, I made a world that I had a bunch of Herobrine spawners in, and I tried looking for him. I think I did actually find him once though. Oh wait, false alarm. This happened.
Base is over there and over there. But I'm gonna go to bed now. And, well, actually, I'm just gonna exit out of the video. So, in this episode, we really didn't find any. Oh my god! Oh my god, you have to be serious!
Herobrine quite literally scared me as a little kid all the way up to my early teens. Then I kind of started to realize that there is no Herobrine in Minecraft. But there's some pretty good mods like from the Fog. I definitely would recommend the Librarian's Minecraft from the Fog series. It's really good for the whole series, and I remember when the series was dropping and it was his best videos at the time, and even still is now, being some of his more popular ones. Although Herobrine was a myth, it really was one of the founding fathers of modern video game myths and was probably the reason most people nowadays talks about the liminal feeling of Minecraft. I will also use this entry as a bit of a promotion or hint or whatever you want to call it. I might soon do a Minecraft playthrough with the From the Frog mod in Minecraft. No promises though. So, my final thoughts. I do think Herobrine is one of, if not the best video game creepypasta of all time.
Hello. Shit, why is it so dark in here? Let me light something. Oh, this lantern should do. Hello. Do not mind the lantern I just lit, lighting the whole room, for I am here to help my brother with this massive video. Things that scared me as a kid. If you remember, I was in episode 3, and I was talking about I am back, and this time, I am talking about Amnesia, the Dark Descent. So, pop your sanity meds, pick up the lantern, and let's descend into darkness. Amnesia is a fairly old game series, with its first 2 entries releasing in the early 2010s, with its latest 2 being released within the last 4 years. The one we will be focusing on is the first game, Amnesia, The Dark Descent, and how little Ethan was scared shitless watching YouTubers such as Markiplier and PewDiePie play it. I remember watching them play through the main game, but also play some of the modded campaigns too, and oh boy, the modded campaigns are a whole topic in themselves, so I won't even touch upon that. For those very few people who don't know what Amnesia is, first of all, how's 5th grade going? Second of all, Amnesia's story is a bit different depending on what game you play, but in the case of Dark Descent, the lore is that you are some guy named Daniel who's in a massive castle, and there's a murderer named Alexander, and the creature from Pillar Chase 2, and like some kind of ritual? I don't know, man, this shit's confusing. The story itself is not what scared me, personally, as a kid, nor was it the atmosphere. It was those monsters, man. The 4 monsters that posed some kind of threat, to my memory, were always so terrifying to me. I used to be scared of going outside of my room in the middle of the night to piss, cause I was afraid the servant grunt was going to jump me while I was leaking. I was a dumbass kid, I know, but you can't blame me if you saw this thing at the ripe age of 11. I'm sure you'd be shitting yourself too. I suppose that's all the time I have as a guest appearance in this massive video, before I am sent off into the abyss. I'd like to mention that I also have a YouTube channel, and it would be appreciated if you could also subscribe to me. I have some stuff planned for a bit later into October, but I promise it will probably not be as scary, let's be honest. Now, enough of my yapping. Let's move. Oh, god damn it, I knew this would happen. Huh? What's that? Oh my god!
Yo, what's up guys, Super Berserker here, and this is the 3rd time being in Jake the Crabineer's video. I just want to thank him personally for inviting me once again, and hopefully more to come in the future. But anyways, let's talk about what scared me as a child. When I was like 8 or 9, I found out about creepypastas in YouTube, and one of the creepypastas caught my attention. His name is Slenderman, and if no one knows who's Slenderman, let me tell you a little bit about him. He's depicted as a tall, thin figure with featureless, pale face and often wears a black suit, and often portrayed as stalking, abducting, or traumatizing children, which when I was watching a YouTube video about him, it scared me because I was thinking that he will get me one day. Plus, I think I was like watching this video at 8 or 9 p.m., which made it 100 times worse, and I couldn't even sleep. So when I found out about him, there was times where my dad would like to go to this park to run that's nearby where I live, and it's surrounded by a forest, and during these times we will go like at 5 or 6 p.m. Now it's not that late, but we will stay there till 8 or 9 p.m., which it gets super dark, and especially the lights there at the park will turn off in a certain time unless there's like a game going on, but in this situation there wasn't. And while my dad was running his laps, I would be riding my bike for fun and just to pass time, and along the way I had to go near the forest to continue the path, and I hated that because when I was riding my bike I would get distracted and look into the pitch black forest, thinking Slenderman was stalking me behind the trees, trying to lure me into the forest, and that scared me so much as a kid. And when my dad always asked me to accompany him to the park, I will always beg him to go to a different park, or even if we went to the same park, I would just turn around and not go near the forest. But growing up now, it doesn't scare me anymore. Plus, I think there's a specific time now where the park closes, and if the cops catch you in the park after closing, you will be fined. But anyways, who knows who hides in that pitch black forest? Happy Halloween, guys, and thank you so much for inviting me once again, Jake the Krabbin Eater.
When I was a kid, I went to this daycare when I was like 4, maybe 5. And it also doubled as a church. But for the kids, it was a daycare while the adults went to church. So, I had a dream when I was a kid where there was a giant crab that ate the teachers, the kids, all that. And I was running away from the crab. It destroyed the daycare. And when I woke up, I was deathly afraid of crabs for a long time until I was like maybe 8. Like, I hated crabs, dude. I hate crabs! It's crab!
Hey there, I'm Ezra, or Lacey. I don't give a what you call me. I'm here today to talk about something we all likely know. And if not, then I guess you've been living under a rock or something, dumbass. It's Smile Dog. This freaky ass dog scared me to my core as a kid. Like, it was really freaky. I hate this thing. So let me talk about a few experiences I had with said Smile Dog as a kid. I love watching videos about creepypastas and stuff. Like, I was fascinated with the concept of horror, but I never actually, watched any movies. I hate horror movies. Like The Ring and shit. That shit was scary. I never liked that stuff. I remembered, one of these creepypasta videos had that freaky ass dog in it or something. Like, it was a slideshow video and stuff, and showed one of the urban myths or whatever the fuck they're called. Something about just really startled me and shit. That big ass nose and the white dilated eyes I had, and I think a couple images had long hair, but not all of them. But yeah, it just really creeped me out. It was also rumored at the time that it would stay in your mind until you sent the image to someone else. And as that fear factor goes, when you're a kid, it stayed in my head for a while until Jake knocked down my fucking door and forced me to join this episode, forcefully. Last experience I'll talk about this terrifying dream I had as a kid. This dumb dog. I once had a dream where I was in a house. It was outside a window where the house took place and shit, and it was just staring at me. That was kind of all. Yeah, that's pretty much all. Thank you, Jake, for having me in this episode. Suck my ball.
Hey, I'm Casey. I'm Jake's music man. I've made some tracks for him to use as background music in the past, but now I'm making my first conspicuous appearance. Growing up, my favorite movie to watch had to have been Disney Pixar's Cars. It's still one of my favorites, but when I was little, I was a fanatic. If you've seen the movie, you'll most likely remember the scene where Lightning McQueen and Mater go tractor tipping late one night, and after Lightning revs his engine super loudly, making all of the tractors tip at once, they hear a roaring sound in the distance. Then suddenly, from behind a wall of plants comes Frank.
That's Frank.
And he chases them around the pasture until they eventually manage to escape to safety. Now, when I was little, I was very scared of Frank. I was horrified. I think what really solidified this fear was the dream sequence later in the movie, where Frank is chasing Lightning and the King and Chick on the racetrack, and then Chick gets caught by Frank and ground up in a pretty graphic and disturbing scene, frankly, for a G-rated movie. Anyway, you know how when kids are little, they're always turning off the lights and then running full speed out of the room because they're scared a monster will get them if they don't get out of there quickly? For me, that monster was always Frank. I was always terrified that a tractor of the same variety as Frank from Cars would just bust through the wall and grind me up to pieces, like how Chick died in Lightning's Nightmare. This went on for a few years, and once my older brother found out, he would constantly taunt me about it, saying, "The tractor's coming to get you. The tractor's coming to get you." He did that just to scare me. Why, you might ask? Well, because he's a sadistic asshole, that's why. Anyway, that's about all I can say for that fear of mine. After a while, I started to outgrow it, and now the only thing I fear is the inescapable marching of time, slowly leading us all towards our inevitable end.
Hey guys, it's Rezzy. Now, today, my little spooky scary childhood trauma comes from YouTube. No surprise really. However, what I'm about to tell you will really shape your idea about fear, created in a series of amazing shock horror, of course. So, grab your cactus coolers, grab your store brand cookies, and let's begin. Meet Sleep. He was a mysterious YouTuber that gained attention for their unsettling and cryptic videos. The channel featured bizarre, eerie content, often leaving viewers puzzled and intrigued. Many speculated about the meaning behind the videos, leading to various theories and discussions within the online community. Despite the channel's enigmatic nature, it captured the curiosity of many who were drawn to its unique and unconventional style of storytelling. In one of their most notorious videos, Birthright, the unsettling and cryptic content left viewers puzzled and disturbed. Birthright is one of their most talked about videos, known for its eerie imagery and mysterious nature. The video features distorted visuals, unsettling sounds, and cryptic messages that create a sense of unease and confusion. Viewers often speculate about the hidden meanings behind the video, leading to various theories and interpretations. Or they look at their phone, take a step back, and think, what the f***? Eat Sleep's unique approach to horror and storytelling sets them apart from traditional creators, and instead invites a niche audience fascinated by the macabre. Now, not to come to an unconfirmed conclusion, but by the way these videos are set up, it seems we're seeing through the lens of a serial killer who is documenting their catastrophic murders and captures. Overall, Eat Sleep embodies the channel's signature style of blending horror, mystery, and ambiguity to create an unsettling viewing experience that lingers into the minds of their watch. So if you sleep tonight and hear footsteps, assume the worst.
Toy Story is a series that holds a special place in my childhood. I grew up watching Toy Story 2 on repeat endlessly. I love the idea of toys coming to life and having their own little adventures. So it's no surprise that I got into the Child's Play franchise at such an early age. Child's Play, like Toy Story, holds a special place in my childhood because it was my first ever dose of horror movies, which probably explains why I am the way I am, but that's besides the point. The point is, I loved Child's Play. For me, I always thought of it as a dark twist on the Toys to Life kids movies that I loved, and I was on the edge of my seat when it was revealed that Chucky was alive. Now, with me watching these movies at a young age, it's safe to say that I was still around the time where I couldn't differentiate between movies and reality. And with these movies, it was always really prominent. I remember I would always watch my toys carefully, making sure that if they moved, I would catch them in the act. And I would always make sure that when I put them up tight so that when I went to bed, they wouldn't try to get me in my sleep. And I did this for about like a month, so I got over it eventually and learned that movies are just movies. But all that was going to change on a day I will never forget, in the dreadful, terrifying, and horrific month of February. It was my younger cousin's birthday that day, and me and him were basically like brothers. He liked what I liked, and I liked what he liked. So naturally, he gained a fixation for Child's Play at an early age, just like me. Man, my family is weird with their restrictions. We could watch a murder doll kill a babysitter, but I can't stay up past 12 now. I think we're going backwards here, but I digress. Back to the topic at hand. Anyway, it was his birthday, and they decided to get him something a little special. So as I was sitting down, enjoying some mediocre Walmart cake, the best kind, I noticed a rather large box being taken into the living room, where they were opening the gifts. Now, it could have just been clothes, but I had to be sure. So I walk into the living room as he's unwrapping the box, and I see a bright yellow box underneath. And I knew instantly what he got. A life-size, screen-accurate Chucky doll. I was frantic. I freaked out so bad you would have thought it was a dead box in that cat. But no, it was him. Someone that I thought only existed behind a screen was real, and he was right there, in front of my very eyes. I couldn't believe that they did this, let a murder doll into our home. I had to let them know, but they didn't believe me. Not my mom, my dad, my aunt, not even my cousin who believed that his car was a transformer. Me too, man. And I was shocked. Why were they so calm? Did they not see the movies? There's no way this was happening. So then later that night, my cousin slept over and he had the doll with him in my room. While he slept peacefully, I was awake, alert, and very afraid, but also prepared. I wasn't going to give this doll a chance to take out my family. And if a little kid could beat him twice in the movies, surely I can beat him once. So I got up, went to the doll, and stared into his eyes to see if he would try anything. And I waited and waited for him to do something, anything. But there was no movement. So I figured enough was enough. I wasn't waiting anymore. So I grabbed him, took him out to the kitchen, grabbed a pair of preschool scissors, and stabbed the hell out of him for like 10 seconds. And he did nothing. He was genuinely fake. Eventually, that doll became like one of those dolls that gets drawn on so many times to the point that we had to throw him away. Thank God. And that's when I learned movies are just movies, and that I could easily kick that doll's ass if he was real. Moral of the story, if you believe in yourself, you can beat any horrors life throws at you. Except taxes. The end.
Alright, I'll take it from here. Well, it's time to wrap up this video and this series. I don't see myself making any more stuff that scared me as a child videos in the future, mainly because the recent episodes have not gotten the views I wanted them to, and that I'm quickly running out of ideas. But hey, depending on how this video does, I probably will make more in the future. And before I end this video off, let me say thank you guys so much for 1,000 subscribers. It's been a lifelong dream for me to become a YouTuber, and with this milestone, I feel more than inspired to continue moving on in this journey with you all. And I couldn't be more grateful for such an awesome community like you all. And if you liked today's video and want to see more like it in the future, like, comment, and subscribe to both me and everyone else mentioned in the description, and join my Discord server and follow me on Instagram. And finally, I hope you have a great day or night wherever you are. Bye!